Have you ever wondered what it means to experience true happiness that lasts and goes beyond fleeting moments? What does it mean to love yourself and others sincerely without conditions or expectations? Do you believe it's possible to find happiness as a natural state, free from all external influences? What would the world look like if it were filled with genuine selfless love and lasting peace? Are you ready to discover the path to happiness and love that transcends all boundaries and obstacles? Welcome to the channel of light. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important questions of our existence. What is true happiness and what is true love? Through this journey, we'll explore what it means to be truly happy and filled with love, unconditionally and permanently. We'll discover how true love for ourselves becomes the foundation for love for others and the entire world. We'll consider how to liberate happiness and love from external conditions and find them deep within ourselves as a natural state of our being. We'll look back on the teachings of great sages and spiritual traditions, uncovering universal messages that show us the path to love that transcends boundaries. A love that allows us to live in peace, connected to the world and to the divine source within us. Prepare to learn how everyday practices and simple steps can transform your inner world, bringing you true happiness and love. Happiness and love are not distant goals. They are already here, waiting for you to discover them. In everyday life, we are often surrounded by messages that suggest happiness comes from outside of us. We're told that happiness lies in achieving material wealth, success, good relationships, and status. We believe that certain things and situations will bring us lasting satisfaction and fulfillment, but such happiness often fades when what formed its foundation changes or is lost. This kind of happiness is tied to external circumstances and is often fleeting, impermanent, and ultimately limited. However, true happiness is something deeper, something that transcends fleeting pleasures and is rooted in our inner world. It's not connected to passing events, nor does it depend on what we possess or how others perceive us. True happiness is born from within, as part of our spiritual awakening and understanding of our own nature, our connection to the divine source, and the love that permeates all aspects of existence. True happiness is not a fleeting emotion or a momentary flash of pleasure. It is a state of being that comes from a deep sense of peace, love, and unity with the universe. Through spiritual awakening, we learn that happiness is a lasting state that is not subject to external changes. This kind of happiness is not the result of something that happened to us, but a manifestation of our inner harmony and connection to higher divine principles. When we talk about true happiness, we are talking about happiness that knows no bounds, that sets no conditions, and that is completely selfless, just like divine love. True happiness is a state of freedom in which we do not depend on external factors, but live in harmony with ourselves and with the light that we carry within us. Such happiness is deeply rooted in love, faith, and inner peace. How to find true happiness? The path to true happiness is the path to our inner being, the path to awakening to who we truly are. It is the path of liberation from the illusions imposed on us by the world, the path to truth, and the path to love that transcends all boundaries. Through spiritual practices, meditation, prayer, and introspection, we connect with our inner light, with the divine source that is within us, and we realize that true happiness is already within us. It just needs to be released. Happiness is not a destination to be reached. It is a journey towards unity with universal love. True happiness is a state in which we recognize love as the essence of our existence. Happiness is not limited to any external factor. It is an expression of divine love and faith in the universal law of light and love. True happiness is a state of being in harmony with ourselves and with the universe. It is deeply rooted in love and faith and knows no bounds. True happiness is a journey to inner peace, to unity with the light and love that permeates everything. No matter what storms come and go, when we dive deep enough, we can always find its peaceful current. Now that we have realized where true happiness lies, let's move on and explore how self-love can become a source of true fulfillment. Happiness and love are inseparable. To find true happiness, we need to understand love, because happiness is a state of being where we are in complete harmony with love. Love is the force that drives us, illuminates our path, and connects us to the world around us. The path to true love and happiness begins with ourselves. To achieve happiness, we need to love ourselves and respect our own essence. Only through genuine self-love can we love and accept others. Within each of us reside the energies of the Divine Mother of Love and the Divine Father of Consciousness. The Divine Mother of Love symbolizes the driving energy, the love that inspires us to live, feel, and love. She reminds us that love is not limited or conditional. It is the source of life and a gift we carry within. The Divine Mother is the energy that moves us to be kind to ourselves, to care for our inner being, to treat ourselves with respect and attention. The Divine Father of Consciousness represents our consciousness, wisdom, and clarity, the light that allows us to know ourselves, to understand the deeper meaning of love, and to recognize the divine in everything that exists. When we embrace this wisdom, we understand that self-love is not selfish, but the foundation of a healthy relationship with the world. Consciousness helps us recognize when we are setting limitations on ourselves and to overcome them through love and acceptance. In a world that often sets expectations and demands adaptation, it's easy to forget our own needs, to lose touch with ourselves in search of acceptance from others. True happiness does not come from external recognition. It comes from loving and accepting who we are in our full authenticity. When we love ourselves, when we accept our flaws and virtues, we open our hearts to love that expands and reflects on the world around us. Self-love is not a luxury. It is a prerequisite for spiritual fulfillment and happiness. By achieving self-love, we open the door to unconditional love for others. Through this process, we understand that our happiness is not separate from the happiness of others. When we are happy, we radiate that energy and share it with the world. Through self-love, we learn that true happiness is a state that is shared, that grows and flourishes through our every encounter and interaction. It is important to believe that happiness is attainable for each of us, that we all have the power to love and be happy. Achieving happiness and self-love is not a path without challenges, but it is a path worth every step. On this path, motivation is key. Believe that you deserve happiness, that you have the right to love, and that happiness comes when we love who we are. Every step on this path brings us closer to the divine source of love and connection. Jesus Christ, through his teachings and life, showed what true unconditional love means. His love for humanity had no boundaries or expectations. It was pure, free, and selfless. Jesus teaches us that happiness comes from faith in the divine plan, from love for every being, including ourselves. Self-love is not the opposite of love for others, but its foundation. Through the love that Jesus spread, we can recognize happiness as a state that transcends the material world and connects us with the divine within us. Love grows with time, experience, and spiritual growth. It's not static, it goes through different stages, from basic forms to the highest levels, where it becomes a pure divine force that permeates the universe. Each dimension of love reveals different aspects of our being and allows us to understand true happiness more deeply. Happiness is a natural result of love that develops and expands. As we progress through the dimensions of love, we discover that happiness is inextricably linked with love. True happiness comes when love becomes unconditional and selfless. We will explore each dimension of love and show how it brings us closer to inner peace and lasting happiness. The first dimension of love is selfish love. Here, love is limited to personal interests. At this stage, love is directed towards satisfying one's own needs and desires. Love is conditional, driven by what we can get, not what we can give. Selfish love is short-lived, tied to fleeting benefits, and often caused by fear of loss. For example, a person loves others only when they get what they want: support, recognition, or material benefits. When the benefit disappears, the love ceases. In this dimension, happiness is fragile and short-lived because it depends on what others can provide. Such happiness is not stable because it is based on passing circumstances rather than inner peace. The second dimension of love is love for family. As love develops, it encompasses family and close friends. Love at this level is conditional, but driven by a sense of belonging and obligation. People love those they are connected to, but that love is based on expectations and carries certain conditions. For example, a parent loves their child, but that love can be tied to expectations that the child be obedient, successful, or grateful. When those expectations are not met, love can weaken. At this stage, happiness depends on reciprocity and a sense of belonging. Although this love is broader than selfish love, it is still not free because it expects something in return. The third dimension of love is romantic love. Romantic love is based on passion, intimacy, and emotional connection. People in this dimension believe they have found true love and invest a lot of energy in their relationships. However, this love carries certain expectations and can be intense but unstable. Romantic love is often colored by a need for validation and a sense of security. For example, two people in love enjoy a deep connection, but love can fade when challenges or disagreements arise. When romantic love depends on idealizing the other person, disappointment arises when we are faced with reality. Happiness in this dimension comes from excitement and a sense of connection, but can be fragile because it depends on an idealized partner. True happiness requires love that is free from possessiveness and various expectations. The fourth dimension of love is selfless and unconditional love for others. Unconditional love is the point at which love becomes completely free from conditions. People at this level understand that love is not something to be earned. Love is given freely and without expectation of anything in return. Unconditional love provides deep happiness because it is not tied to the behavior or reactions of others. For example, a parent loves their child regardless of their actions. Love is constant, even when the child does not meet certain expectations. Happiness at this level comes from pure love that spreads from within, regardless of external circumstances. When we love unconditionally, we realize happiness as a state of inner freedom and peace. The fifth dimension of love is universal love. At this level, love encompasses all living beings and nature. Love now extends beyond human relationships and includes the planet, animals, and the natural world. People at this stage feel a deep connection with all living beings and become aware of the responsibility to nurture and protect nature. For example, a person feels a deep connection with nature and animals and becomes active in environmental issues and environmental protection. Happiness at this level stems from a sense of oneness with the whole world. It is a happiness that comes from harmony with nature and from the feeling that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. The sixth dimension of love is divine love. Divine love is connected with the divine source itself and represents love for the universe and the divine essence present in everything. People at this stage feel holy love for the entire created world, recognizing the divine in every being. For example, a person feels a deep spiritual connection with all that exists and expresses love daily through prayer, meditation, or spiritual practices. At this level, happiness is a state of spiritual unity. It is not tied to individual relationships, but to a connection with the divine, to the feeling that we are part of universal love. The highest level of love is cosmic, pure consciousness, and the source of love. At the highest levels of love, cosmic love, love for pure consciousness, oneness with love, and boundless love, love becomes transcendental, encompassing all aspects of existence, the universe, and the source of everything. At these levels, love is limitless, formless, and becomes the law by which everything functions. Happiness at these levels comes from a state of oneness with the love that is at the heart of everything. It is a happiness that transcends personal desires and needs. It is divine happiness, a state in which we feel that everything is permeated with love, and that love itself is the essence of existence. The dimensions of love are thus like steps to heaven. With each step upwards, a wider view of the world opens to us until we reach the point where love encompasses everything that exists. Through the dimensions of love, we discover that happiness is inextricably linked with love. As love grows, so does our happiness, moving from conditional pleasure to a state of lasting peace and contentment. True happiness comes when love becomes free, selfless, and divine. Through the following teachings of the great religions, we will discover the universal principles of happiness and love, which transcend all boundaries. Religion has always been a guide to a deeper understanding of life, happiness, and love. Through the teachings of major religions, we recognize universal values that lead to true happiness, love, and inner peace. In this chapter, we will explore how different religions define happiness and love, and how those teachings emphasize that happiness comes from inner harmony and divine love. In all major religions, happiness is not a fleeting pleasure that comes from outside. Happiness is an expression of love for God, oneself, and others. That love is unconditional, selfless, and all-encompassing, opening the door to true happiness. In Christianity, love is at the heart of faith and the key to true happiness. Jesus Christ, through his teachings and life, showed what it means to have unconditional love for God and humanity. His message, love your neighbor as yourself, reveals that love for oneself is the basis for love for others. And true happiness comes when we nurture love free from expectations and conditions. Through Jesus' teachings, love is not just an emotion, but an act of faith and trust in the divine plan. Christianity teaches us that happiness comes when we give up selfish desires and dedicate ourselves to the love that connects us with God and every living being. True happiness comes through love, forgiveness, serving others, humility, and compassion. In Christianity, happiness comes when we find peace through love for ourselves, our neighbors, and God. Love for God leads to lasting happiness, transcending fleeting desires and bringing peace to the soul. Buddhism emphasizes inner peace as the path to happiness. According to Buddha's teachings, happiness does not come from external pleasures or achievements, but from inner harmony. Buddha's message speaks of liberation from attachments and desires, as they create suffering and distance us from true peace. In Buddhism, love is expressed through compassion and respect for all living beings. Metta, or love for all beings, is one of the basic principles of Buddhist ethics. When we love without expectation, when we practice love free from selfish interests, we arrive at a state of happiness, free from external factors. Buddhism teaches us that happiness is a natural result of inner peace and connection with universal love. In Buddhism, happiness comes through liberation from desires and attachments, through love expressed through compassion and peace with oneself. In Islam, love for God, Allah's love, is the central theme and the basic path to happiness. According to Islamic teachings, happiness is achieved through complete devotion to God, through love, obedience, and doing good. Islam encourages us to transfer love for God to love for other people through mercy, respect, and support. Sufism, which is a mystical branch within Islam, particularly emphasizes the concept of divine love as a source of happiness. Sufi mystics believe that love for God is a state that brings peace and joy to the soul. They believe that happiness is in unity with God, because through that unity we feel connected with the entire universe. Islam teaches us that happiness comes from devotion to God, from a love that is greater than fleeting emotions and that connects us with the divine. In Islam, happiness comes through love for God and through life in harmony with His principles, through kindness, mercy, and gratitude. Hinduism, as one of the oldest religions, offers diverse perspectives on happiness and love. In Hinduism, happiness is associated with achieving inner unity with the divine nature. Love for God, for the universal I, leads us to liberation from ego and fleeting desires. Bhakti Yoga, one of the paths in Hinduism, directs the believer towards complete love and dedication to God. Bhakti Yoga teaches that true happiness is possible when we renounce personal desires and immerse ourselves in love for the divine. Through meditation and devotion, the believer achieves inner peace and joy because he recognizes God in himself and everything that exists. In Hinduism, happiness comes from an inner connection with the divine and through love freed from ego and fleeting desires. In Judaism, love and happiness are often associated with ethical living, respect, and love for others. The Torah teaches us to live righteously, be merciful, and serve others. Love for others is the basic principle through which happiness is achieved, because happiness is not just a feeling, but an act of service and respect. In Judaism, happiness comes through a relationship with God, through prayer, obedience, and love for others. Love for others is not just an obligation, but a path to deeper happiness and inner fulfillment. When we live in accordance with the divine laws of love and justice, we arrive at true happiness. In Judaism, happiness comes through love for others, through a righteous and fulfilling life, in accordance with divine laws. Each of the major religions has specific views on love and happiness, but a universal message runs through all of them. Happiness comes through selfless love free from fleeting desires that connects us with higher principles. Whether it is love for God, neighbors, or inner peace, happiness is achieved when we recognize that love is the essence of our being and the universe. The teachings of major religions are like different signposts on a mountain path. Each leads to the same summit, but offers unique views and insights on the path to happiness. By learning from major religions, we discover that happiness is attainable when we nurture love free from personal expectations, love guided by compassion, mercy, and faith in the divine plan. True happiness is not found in material things or fleeting emotions. It is found in love that transcends our personal boundaries and is guided by divine principles. After insights into ancient wisdom, let's move on to the importance of health and inner harmony as fundamental sources of happiness. Health is often seen as the key to happiness. We are taught that health is connected to our diet, environment, and how we treat our bodies. But a spiritual perspective reveals a deeper understanding of health and happiness. True happiness and health are not just external conditions, but a reflection of our inner state, self-love, peace, and connection with our being and the divine source. Our body is a mirror of our inner world. When we live in harmony with ourselves, feel love for ourselves and others, our body responds positively, radiating health and vitality. But when we carry anxiety, sadness, or discontent, our body often reacts with illness. Spiritual well-being and physical health are connected, and true happiness is the harmony of mind, body, and soul. Many believe that illnesses come from bad habits, pollution, or an unhealthy diet. But our body is incredibly adaptable, able to survive in various conditions as long as inner peace reigns within us. When the heart is filled with anxiety or suppressed emotions, the body responds with illness as a warning that it is not in harmony with the spirit. Illness is often a sign of inner conflict, unconscious discontent, or unaccepted emotions. When we carry self-love, the body becomes resistant to many diseases because love brings peace and balance. By accepting ourselves and our emotions, even the difficult ones, the body finds peace and the energy of health. To achieve true happiness, we must love ourselves. Self-love is not selfishness, but a deep respect for our being and the body that was given to us as a gift. When we love ourselves, we feel peace and harmony in our bodies. By accepting our body with love and gratitude, it becomes strong, resilient, and vital. Self-love means listening to our body, understanding its needs and responding to them. If the body requires rest, let's allow ourselves to rest. If it craves certain foods, let's listen to its needs. The body always sends signals about its needs. And when we listen to it with love, we achieve a natural balance and health. Self-love allows us to care for our bodies on all levels: physical, mental, and spiritual. Inner peace is the key to physical well-being. When we live in a state of inner peace, our body is relaxed, our thoughts are clear, and our emotions are balanced. In a state of peace, the body releases hormones of happiness, endorphins, and dopamine, which strengthen it and make it resistant to external factors. Through prayer, meditation, and other spiritual practices, we arrive at an inner peace that fulfills and nourishes us. When we are connected to the Spirit, we feel love and trust in the divine plan, and our body responds with health and vitality. The mind, body, and spirit are in harmony, and that harmony is reflected through physical health. For example, When a person feels deep inner peace, they are less susceptible to stress and its harmful effects. Stress is one of the biggest causes of illness, but when we find peace, the body strengthens the immune system and becomes more resistant to disease. Just as self-love affects health, so does love for others have a healing effect. When we love others, we empathize and share joy, and our body responds positively. Scientific research shows that people who feel connected to others, practice kindness and compassion, have lower blood pressure, a stronger immune system, and a longer lifespan. Love for others is a natural consequence of self-love. When we love ourselves, we naturally open our hearts to love for the world, and that love becomes a source of healing for us and everyone we come into contact with. Love for others is not just physical care. It is an inner state of joy and a desire for everyone to be happy. When we love others, our body responds with health and happiness because we are in harmony with the natural laws of love. To achieve true happiness and health, we need to motivate ourselves towards a life filled with love, peace, and joy. Motivation comes from the belief that we deserve happiness and health. When we have self-love and faith in the divine source that supports us, we find the strength to change our lives, live in harmony with our inner being, and choose health. Believe that your body is worthy of love and attention, that health is a reflection of your inner state. Motivation for health and happiness comes from the belief that health is the natural state of every being, achieved through self-love and love for others. True happiness comes when we live in accordance with our deepest values, nurture our body and spirit, and feel love for life. Now that we understand the connection between body, mind, and soul, we will discover everyday practices that bring peace and joy. Our body is like an instrument in an orchestra. When the mind, soul, and body are in harmony, they create the melody of health together. But when discord arises, that melody becomes disturbed, disrupting our inner peace. True happiness comes from within and is connected to self-love, which is reflected through our physical and spiritual health. When we love ourselves, the body naturally finds balance, and health becomes an expression of our inner peace and happiness. Through self-love, love for others, and the inner peace, we achieve wholeness, which leads us to a lasting state of well-being. True happiness and love aren't far-off goals, but states we cultivate through daily practices and our relationship with ourselves. Small, everyday activities can have a huge impact on our inner peace, joy, and connection with the divine source. Through meditation, prayer, gratitude, and self-love, we achieve deep peace and contentment. A key tool on this journey is the subconscious mind. The subconscious is a powerful part of our being that processes information and seeks solutions, often beyond the reach of our conscious mind. When we direct our subconscious through certain practices, we can motivate it to work in our favor and lead us to solutions that fill us with happiness and love. Before you go to bed, Task your subconscious with working in your best interest while you sleep. The subconscious processes all the information it receives throughout the day, but it is especially susceptible to suggestions we give it before sleep. This simple task allows your subconscious to work on finding ways to achieve peace, happiness, and love in your life while you sleep. When you lie down, close your eyes and focus on calm and deep breathing. Ask your subconscious a clear question or task, such as, "Subconscious, please find ways for me to be happy and filled with love. Guide me towards solutions that will bring me joy, peace, and a deep connection with myself and the world." Trust that your subconscious will respond. Throughout the night, it will seek solutions, illuminate paths, and guide you towards situations and people that will contribute to your inner fulfillment. In the morning, you may notice a sense of peace, inspiration, or new ideas. This is your subconscious sending you answers. This practice encourages our subconscious to be our ally on the path to happiness and love. Meditation is a key tool for achieving happiness and connecting with the subconscious. When we meditate, our mind calms down. We release tension, and we open space for presence and conscious connection with ourselves. During meditation, our conscious mind recedes, and the subconscious becomes more accessible to messages of peace, love, and self-acceptance. Through meditation, we lay the foundation for healthy communication with our subconscious. Find a peaceful place and sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Focus on your breath. Let each inhale be conscious, and each exhale carry peace with it. As you meditate, imagine your subconscious becoming more receptive to love and peace. Visualize happiness as a light that fills your being and directs your subconscious towards solutions that are aligned with your highest good. Meditation brings inner peace, reduces stress, and opens us up to love for ourselves and others. Through meditation, we set tasks for our subconscious and encourage it to guide us towards solutions that bring happiness and love. Prayer is a way to connect with the divine and direct our subconscious towards a higher purpose. Through prayer, we express our gratitude, our desires, and open our hearts to spiritual support. Prayer is not just addressing God, but also a way to direct ourselves towards our own inner strength and give the subconscious guidance on what we want to achieve. Begin with a prayer of gratitude in the morning or evening, expressing thanks for all the blessings in your life. Pray for love and happiness in your life, for inner peace and harmony. As you say the prayer, visualize your subconscious receiving those words and beginning to work on making them a reality in your life. Prayer connects us with divine love, strengthens faith, and opens the heart to the support of the subconscious, which helps us fulfill our deepest desires. Along with strong and pure prayer, gratitude is also necessary. Gratitude is a simple but powerful practice that teaches us to appreciate what we already have. When we express gratitude, we direct the subconscious towards recognizing the good in every moment. The subconscious absorbs the positive thoughts and feelings of gratitude and then guides us towards situations that bring us joy and peace. Keep a gratitude journal where you write down a few things you are grateful for each day. Be thankful for your health, love, friendship, work, nature, or simple moments of peace. As you express gratitude, remember that your subconscious is receiving those words and beginning to guide you towards happiness. Gratitude helps us develop a positive outlook on the world and opens us up to the love that is already present in our lives. Through gratitude, the subconscious becomes an ally in creating happiness and peace. Nature connects us with life and restores our energy. When we spend time in nature, the subconscious renews itself, connects with the universal rhythm, and finds inner peace. Nature gives us a sense of unity with the world, and through that unity we achieve deeper peace and happiness. Walk in nature and observe the trees, water, sky. Focus on being present and be aware of every sound, smell, and movement. In those moments, you are sending a message of peace and love to your subconscious, allowing it to regenerate and focus on creating inner harmony. Connecting with nature renews energy, brings peace, and supports inner balance, which helps us feel happy and fulfilled. Self-acceptance and self-love allow the subconscious to feel safe and worthy. When we love ourselves, the subconscious becomes receptive to positive thoughts and feelings, leading us to a lasting state of happiness and peace. Every day, look at yourself in the mirror and say words of support to yourself. I love you. I accept you for who you are. You can also set the intention in the evening, before bed, to give your subconscious the task of helping you in the process of self-acceptance. Self-love frees us from feelings of guilt, opens the heart to joy, and allows the subconscious to create a path of happiness and self-confidence. Compassion teaches us to love others and be present for the people around us. When we practice compassion, the subconscious opens up to love and empathy, connecting us with the world on a deeper level. Practice small acts of kindness towards others, such as a smile, a word of support, or offering help. Before going to sleep, ask your subconscious to help you develop compassion and guide you towards situations where you can offer love and support. Compassion opens the heart, connects us with others, and brings a deep sense of happiness and inner peace. Happiness is the result of small, daily practices of love, faith, and working with the subconscious. Through meditation, prayer, gratitude, connecting with nature, self-love, and compassion, we open our hearts to the joy that comes from within, while the subconscious becomes our powerful ally, leading us towards happiness and love. Like fertile ground, the subconscious nurtures the seeds of love and faith, allowing them to grow and blossom through daily practices, bringing us peace and joy. Through all the previous steps and chapters, we've discovered that true happiness isn't a fleeting emotion, but a state of being. Happiness isn't the result of outward achievements or possessions, but an inner expression of peace and connection with ourselves, others, and a divine source of love. True happiness is a state of existence where we're fully aware of our being, where we accept ourselves and the world with love and trust. Awakening to true happiness is like lighting a candle in a dark room. As soon as we turn on the light, all obstacles and fears become clear, and the path to happiness is illuminated. I invite you on a personal journey of spiritual awakening towards true happiness and love. This isn't a journey that ends at a specific destination, but a continuous process in which we grow, break free from limitations, and embrace our right to be happy. Believe that you deserve happiness. Happiness is not a privilege or a luxury. It's the natural state of every being. To find it, we need to let go of old beliefs and imposed rules that limit us and prevent us from achieving peace. Embark on this journey with faith that happiness is your true nature. Happiness is not a destination we'll reach when we fulfill certain goals. Happiness is the way we journey through life. When we accept life as constant movement and growth, we free ourselves from the pressure to achieve happiness and allow ourselves to experience it in every moment. Happiness lies in the ability to be present, to appreciate the moment, and to live with an open heart. On the path of spiritual awakening, the practice of love and gratitude plays a key role. Through daily practices like meditation, prayer, gratitude, and setting intentions for our subconscious, we nurture our inner peace and connect with the happiness that comes from within. The subconscious as a guide. As we've already said, the subconscious is a powerful tool that can help us find the best solutions for happiness and love. Upon waking up or before sleep, you can set a clear intention for your subconscious. Guide me towards solutions that will bring me happiness, peace, and love. Direct me towards people, situations, and thoughts that are aligned with my highest good. The subconscious will work in the background, sending you inspiration, feelings, and ideas that will guide you on the path to happiness. True happiness comes through love shared with the world. When we love others, when we share joy and compassion, we feel a sense of unity with the world. Love for others is not just a gift we give them, but also a way to increase our own happiness. Every time we offer love, our world becomes richer and more beautiful, and our happiness deepens. When we live by rules imposed by others, or when we set limitations for ourselves, happiness becomes difficult to attain. To truly be happy, we need to free ourselves from expectations and be free to follow our hearts. On the path of spiritual growth, stepping outside the box means being authentic, living in harmony with our inner truth, and believing that happiness is our natural right. We invite you to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to uncover the happiness that comes from within and the love that knows no bounds. May each step guide you towards a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. Through love and faith in your inner self, allow yourself to live a life filled with happiness and love. Happiness isn't something you find externally, it's your true nature. Embark on this journey and discover the happiness that already resides within you, or happiness that is unconditional, infinite, and a part of your divine essence. Thank you for joining us on this path towards true happiness and love. Your presence in this mission illuminates the path to spiritual awakening for for people all over the planet towards peace and genuine connection. If this content has touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share this message with everyone you wish. True happiness, peace, and love too. Let the light spread and reach every heart that is ready to open. Together we can help the world find its way to peace and light. May your journey towards true happiness and love last forever. Open your heart, let your light shine, and become a beacon of love that transcends all boundaries. May the light you have found within you illuminate the path for everyone around you, bringing peace, joy, and blessings to the world. Sending you bright greetings filled with love, peace, and the strength of faith that each day will bring you even more joy, fulfillment, and closeness with the divine within you.